Hey guys, Hippie Hebrew Homestead here. It's been a while since we've made a video, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth on how we are going to make our summer sausage. And it's venison. Venison, beef fat, and high temperature cheddar cheese. Alright, I had to reset the table just so I can show you guys what seasonings I'm using. I've got white pepper. This is Cypress black salt. I'm only using just a teaspoon of this rotisserie chicken from Spiceology, just to get some seasonings in there. I've got garlic powder and fennel seed. So, and I've also got a homemade cornbread rusk. So this is true rusk. It's not, you know, it's not store-bought. Miss Hippie, she made this, and that's what we're gonna use. So she made it that specifically so I can do some summer sausage. And then I've got my sausage stuffer, my casings, grinder set up over here, and we're gonna start getting into it. Not really sure. Probably gonna start off by cutting the meat up. It's out there frozen right now, and we'll go from there. Okay, so here's the venison and the beef suet that we've got. We use beef fat because we are biblically clean eaters. We believe that, you know, pork is something that we won't really try to, we don't really consume that. So we're using beef suet and venison. So I'm gonna get this cut open and start cubing it up so I can put it through my grinder. I've got all my grinder bits and pieces. They are in the freezer because when you're doing sausage, you really want all your equipment. You want everything cold. It cuts so much nicer. I've played the game where you try and do it whenever it's room temperature. It just doesn't work, you know, and I learned from my mistake. Another mistake that I want to point out is this is one of those all-in-one like grinder stuffer machines. I do not recommend using a meat grinder for stuffing sausage unless you're doing like really small stuff, because your plunger, this will get stuck in your feed tray, and when you're trying to pull up on it, it causes so many nightmares. So that's why we opted for the sausage stuffer. This will be my first time using it, so you guys are just gonna have to bear with me. Now, we're gonna cut some meat up. So I'm getting finished up here. This is probably one of the longer parts of this whole process, besides the smoking it and letting it rest overnight. I don't know if you can hear that on the ground, but I've got the tax man come in for the meat tax. And our kitty absolutely loves meat. It's his favorite part of the year, or day if we're butchering, but I know someone's probably going to try and get me, oh my gosh, you're giving your cat meat. Oh, who cares, you know? He's a cat. He's a cat. Cats are, you can look this up for yourself. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be a source of Google for you, but cats, if need be, can live off of just meat. They don't need the Church of the Divine Pet Owners food all the time. He loves his dry food, but it's a nice little gift from me to my kitty here to give him meat. He's the only cat we have in the house right now that will literally beg and want meat, and in return he gets rid of our mice. So it's a win-win. So I don't know. I'm hoping I had a good meat to suet ratio or fat ratio. I think it's It's a 1-to-4 ratio. I was reading up a little bit on one of the recipes. I like to look at a bunch of recipes and then kind of go from there and put my own twist on it. Some of this is just still really frozen solid, which is good. That's what you want, because it's going to go right back outside on the snow and stay cold and covered until I'm ready to grind it. Because I got to get my grinder set up, and I'm going to walk through that a little bit too. So, cut. So, yeah, I just finished up. I had to cut it because we had a situation we had to take care of. The tax man's still here, and I got one piece of currency left for him. He hasn't finished his other piece of meat, but I mean, if he wants it, he wants it. He can have it. So this is kind of bloody meat, and of course I'm gonna wash my hands after this. But this is bloody meat. We give it to him. Hey Zuma, come here, buddy. Come here. Where'd he go? He doesn't want any now. That's fine. So now I'm gonna go wash my hands, and I'm gonna show you how I set up my grinder. This will go there, and we'll go ahead and cut.
Tax man here.
Tax man.
My two cutting wheels here, they're frozen together. That's nice. One little quick hit. Pull this out of the freezer. We got to kind of move a little quick here. Get this put together real fast. Ice cold, that's what you want. I just washed my hands and it's my wet fingers are sticking to this. So we're gonna start with the larger one. It's not dirty, we just cleaned it. This is all stained from last time we used it. I didn't want to use vinegar on my metal, but it is what it is. Stuff like that happens. Pop that on there. You don't want to go too tight with these. Boom. Now you're in business. That. Where did my feeder tray go? Got everything snug. I am setting this to low. I might have to throw in a couple ice cubes, but throw that in. Start grinding it. Go to fast. It bogs down if it's still too frozen. Pretty much at the end, I left a couple pieces of suet out because it just seemed like there was a lot of fat, and you don't want too much fat in your sausage. So what I like to do is when I'm at the end, there's still some meat in here. I'll take this, kind of ball it up, get it big enough, and run some more meat through the grinder. The fact that it's going so fast kind of tells me that we're at the end here, and that extra meat is getting ground up. Good to go. All right, so I'll take this off. Take all that off. Disassemble my grinder. Knock that off. Get that out. I'm not putting my fingers in there. Oh, now I am. Get that out. Take your auger out. And we're good to go. Got all that there. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mix all my flavorings into it. And once I do that, or wait, no, I'm gonna freeze it again and then grind it up into finer, like a finer grind. So I'm gonna go put this bowl into the freezer and get this frozen, slightly frozen again, just to keep it cold. There's a few chunks in there that kind of came off the grinder a little weird whenever I've removed and cleared it sometimes. So, but this is really nice consistency. So we'll add in our seasonings and all our rusk, but this is, gosh, this is really nice. I'd say there's about 10 pounds there, it feels like, including the bucket. So all right, we're gonna put it in the freezer and we'll see you in a sec. So really fast before I get going, I still have my ground meat. It's in the freezer right now, but I wanted to kind of go through and get this set up to start pumping sausage. I still have to grind it again, so I've got a finer mesh. I don't know where it went. It's somewhere floating around here, but I have a finer mesh tube. I put my grinding gear back in the freezer so that it can get cold again. I've got that, but this is what I'm gonna do. And I'll probably go through it again. But I've got these cartilage. Or no, these are cellulose. I forgot exactly what kind of casings these are. They're like a fiber. They're not animal based. So I've soaked these for about 30 minutes in some warmer water, and then you just kind of get it on there. All right, and get it to the tip there, and you're ready to start stuffing some sausages. So there's that. I just wanted to get that out of the way before I start, because whenever I get into the mode, I just want to start stuffing and not worrying about explaining what I'm doing. No offense. It's just, this is my first time using this machine, so we're going to try and get it done properly. All right, we just pulled the meat back out. There goes my timer, right on time. I put it in the freezer for about 25 minutes. It's back to being cold. I'm gonna set everything up and we're gonna start the second grind. Alrighty, so we're back at the end. I just finished up whole bowl. I got my small bowl and I got my big bowl. I won't be mixing in this one. I got a bigger wow. A bigger stock pot that I'll be mixing this all up in. So what I like to do, again, just to reiterate, I'll take some of my already ground meat. All right. Kind of ball it up like this. And I'm just gonna run it back through, because there's some meat that's in there that hasn't been ground up. I'll take this, my packing utensil here. And that's it. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna get all the meat out. I'm gonna get what's left of what is ground but is still stuck in there. Okay, so as you can see, I did end up having to move it to the stock pot. It was too big for that bowl. I've got some high temperature cheddar here. I'll put a little bit of this in, because everybody, well, at least on the homestead, everybody loves a little bit of this cheddar in their summer sausage. So put probably about that much in it. And I'm going to finish mixing up because I can't do it with 2 hands. Miss Hippie went to the store, so I'm going to put the rest of the seasonings in, get all this mashed up, load it up into the stuffer, and we'll stuff some sausages. Alrighty, so after some time mixing it, this is about the consistency you want. You want it to stick to your fingers. That's good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff this. I'd have to double check. I'm pretty sure this is the 7-pound capacity, and it looks like we've got about 7 pounds here, maybe a little bit more. I'll have to double check that, but let me get this loaded and we'll go from there. Had to do a weird angle, so we're just gonna crank this out. Table's not very stable. Ah. Not the best packed summer sausage, but it'll do. Okay. And try and pack some of it down. Here we go, getting my smoker ready. It's the next day. Summer sausages have been over in our summer kitchen over here in that refrigerator. Whoa! There's the ice. It's a little bit of a mess in here, but there they are. Ready to go in the smoker. All right, we got them all 4 hanging. We're gonna start at a cold smoke and we're gonna go from there. All right, just opened it up. Looks like we're cruising at an altitude of probably about 160 degrees. You kind of want to smoke them at 3 different temperatures. At least that's what I've been reading. You want to cold smoke it, then you want a medium heat, and then you want to cook it at a higher heat until it gets to 185 degrees on the inside. Once it does that, you rinse it with a cold, you cold rinse it with water. So once we get there, I'll film some more, show you guys the process, and we'll go from there. But boy, those look delicious. Oh, can't wait to open one up. That small one is going to be opened up today after we're done cooking, so I can't wait. Okay, so I kind of jumped the gun a little bit here. Well, not really jumped the gun, but I wasn't paying attention to the gun. We're just about at temp, and I got to get these off and get them rinsed before they overcook. So, pull those out, close my smoker up, and you got to get them into some really cold water. I just dip these in there. That's what I'm doing because that's what's available. All right. And then you rinse them. And that's pretty much it. You just want to get them to where they'll stop cooking and won't stick to the cartilage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go hang these up now. Alrighty, so we got them hanging up, or they're gonna sit at room temperature for about 30 to 40 minutes. And I'm gonna check that small one. I'm gonna cut it open and see how it turned out. we're getting close to the end here, and I know there was like a lot of takes, a lot of editing gone through, but I hope that I answered some questions that anybody trying to start out their summer sausage for the first time might have. And if I didn't brief over anything, let me know in the comments. I will answer to the best of my ability. Again, this is only my second time making these, but all right, so here is the summer sausage. I'm just gonna cut into it. Miss Hippie, can you hold this for me? So here's the summer sausage. I'm just gonna cut into it. This is the first one. And oh my goodness. Looks like it cooked well. Okay. Oh yeah, has a good ring around it. There it is. That's good. Well, like I said, let me know what I did, what I should do. But I'm sorry, but this is a really good one. That's a good one. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you next time on the homestead.